Every Ukrainian right now is trying their hardest to push Russia away. They're doing their bit. Here's a conversation that Shivarur had with Ukrainian MP Ina Sovsun, where she speaks about how her father also has decided to pick up a rifle and go fight the Russians.
Where are you at the moment, Ina, and what's the current situation according to you?
I am in Kyiv, as the majority of my fellow MPs. We are all staying here in Kyiv. It's been a difficult night for Ukraine, which we have been warned about by the president. He did say that they do have information that this is an important night for us. So we are trying to make sure we were prepared for the worst. The majority of people here in Kyiv, they spent the nights on the shelters in the underground station, in an underground parking. So we did hear explosions and bombs exploding all over the city around midnight, and it is 8 in the morning in Kyiv. It has been relatively quiet by the morning time, except for a smaller town of Zelenskyy, where the Russians were trying to take over an airport in order to land their planes with their troops. Their plane has been shot by Ukrainian army, by the counter defense. We still don't know the exact losses, but that of course means that we are fighting back. The Russians were trying to take over the smaller town of Zelenskyy, but they failed. Just 3 minutes ago, we received official confirmation from the army saying that the Russians all Russians in Zelenskyy have been killed, and Ukraine fully controls Zelenskyy. There have been some provocations by infiltrators around Kyiv city during yesterday and the night. Again, they all have been killed. From what we know as of now, every single Russian that did enter Kyiv was killed in action by Ukrainian army and by Kyiv's territorial defense. The situation in other cities is developing. We are following the news very closely, but what we know for sure is that Russians didn't capture a single major city in Ukraine, and Ukrainians are fighting back as strong as possible. We believe that the initial Russian plan of blitzkrieg has failed. So they were planning to take over Kyiv in 24 hours after the first shelling of Kyiv. They failed to do so. What they're doing now is to a big extent suicidal missions for individuals involved. We did have several cases when just a single tank coming into Kyiv streets and being destroyed within 20 minutes by a Ukrainian army, which was to be expected. There is no way you can invade Kyiv, a 4 million city, in one tank. So it was from the start a suicide mission, but the Russian command doesn't care about the well-being of their troops. So they just don't care about that, and they do have lots of casualties, over 3,500 from the recent data that we're getting from the Ukrainian military of defense.
What kind of damage has been caused on the Russian side? There's, like you said, a lot of casualties have been inflicted on the Russian side. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense says it has shot down, several Russian aircraft. There are many NATO aircraft in the air around Ukraine, not inside Ukraine, but around Ukraine, watching this entire air battle that's also taking place. But these are very big claims of 8, 9, 10 aircraft being shot down.
I'm looking at the most recent data from the Ministry of Defense. They are claiming 14 planes, 102 tanks, 540 military vehicles, 8 helicopters, and So that is the recent data from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. We just hit 2 airplanes this night, 2 big airplanes with Russian troops coming. So Ukrainian air defense is actually doing miracles, frankly speaking. We are so much grateful to them for the work they're doing. We were not sure to which extent they would be able to protect our air, but they're doing amazing work as of now.
Given that no outside country has come in to help, NATO is not going to be putting any boots on the ground. At least it doesn't look like that, and it seems very unlikely, Ina, at this point of time. And given that Ukraine is a much smaller military than the Russian forces, Russia, is going to be capable of many more losses. It's a large country with a very large military. How long can this go on for?
Well, let's do a simple math. From what we knew a week ago, Russia has amassed about 80,000 troops around Ukraine, which is actually less than Ukrainian army. So Ukrainian army is 215,000 troops. There are 60,000 troops of National Guard. There are special forces. If you compare both armies, then of course Russia is much bigger. But if you just compare the army that has been put around Ukrainian border, then Russian forces are actually smaller than the Ukrainian forces. In addition to that, we are having tens of thousands of people joining territorial defense. They are being provided with weapons right now. Actually, and that's going to be a very personal note for myself, but just an hour ago, I talked to my dad, and he's getting ready to join the territorial defense. So people are standing in line to join, unlike Russians who are just trying to get out of this. So this is a very different situation for the Ukrainian and Russian army. So yes, they are a bigger country. They do have much more people, but their morale, their motivation is 100 times lower than Ukrainians. And lots of fights and lots of battles in the streets of the cities and towns all over Ukraine have actually been conducted not just by regular army, but by territorial defense, by volunteers who just signed up and who are getting engaged with finding infiltrators, with finding information, and so on and so forth. So they're trying to take over not Ukrainian army, but to take over a 40 million country. And that is a quite different situation, and they are failing to do so as of now. And we do plan to keep it that way.
Ina, you just mentioned a personal note, and you said that your father has signed up for the Territorial Defense Forces. As a daughter, as a citizen and a daughter of a country under siege, how does that make you feel personally? Your own father signing up to fight?
Well, it's not the first case in my family. My boyfriend is in the military as well, and my father is signing up. We are worried, but we also understand that we are the only ones who can protect us. So we are willing to do that. I will be honest with you, we are, of course, very much worried. I've been texting with my boyfriend every now and then, but the connection is not, the connection itself is good, but he's not always able to respond. So I am concerned, but what we know for sure is at this point of time, just everyone needs to do their job. If I can talk to the journalists and explain what is happening here in Ukraine, then I'm doing this. If my boyfriend is able to treat people as a military medic, he's doing that. If my dad is he's 61 years old and he's not in very good health, but if he can just keep the blog post and just stand there and monitor the situation, well, it's probably his job to do so. We're just doing everything we can, and whoever can do everything. Well, we're doing everything we can to protect our country. It's difficult, it's emotional, but we probably will think about that after the victory.
This is, incredible, Ina. I mean, and thank you for sharing that bit with us, because that really communicates and tells us about what Ukrainians are doing right now for their country. If people like your father, who's 61 years old, wants to pick up a weapon and defend, that just speaks to us and speaks to the rest of the world about what this is really about. This is not just about fighting. This is about defending something that's precious and defending something that will not be given up. My last question to you, Ina, I know this is emotional for you, but I do want to ask you, with this territorial defense, with President Zelenskyy calling upon people to sign up, pick up a weapon, train and defend the country, is enough being done by the government? Because after all, this is a professional adversary that you are fighting. Will there be enough training? Will there be enough weapons? I hope it's not going to be a suicide mission for many.
Well, we are the government, and when I'm saying this, you have to keep in mind that I'm representing the opposition party.
Yes.
So we typically criticize the government, we do criticize the president, but at this point of time, we just stay united, and we are doing our best from different parties, just stay united. So what the government is doing right now, they are providing weapons. We actually, I myself as an MP was given a weapon. All the men in territorial defense were given a weapon. There were videos of how the weapons is being given out to territorial defense yesterday in Kyiv. I believe that the information as of yesterday evening was that they have given out 18,000 guns and other weapons, but that was just by the evening. So I believe the numbers are growing. So Ukrainian army is pretty good, well equipped, partially because we did get some military support in terms of weapons from the West. And when you are looking, and we did have like many videos like this, when you compare the Ukrainian soldier and the Russian soldier, you can actually see that Ukrainian soldiers are much better equipped. They actually look like someone from space. They're very well equipped. They have all this like support and all. And then Russians actually look much more.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So Ukrainian army is actually pretty well equipped as of now. And yes, the government is doing everything possible. What we ask now is for other governments to support us as well.
Absolutely.
And we asking for India as well. I know that India did abstain in the UN vote yesterday. I wish you changed your mind, and I wish you understand, not you personally, but everyone listening to this.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying,
Ukraine has never started any war. Ukraine was never a threat to Russia.
Yeah, I can, Ina, I want to tell you, the place where I live, the place where I live in India's capital, I have Ukrainian nationals living in my colony. I have friends from Ukraine living there, and I know what they're going through right now. They want to get back home and fight as well. So I hear your voice. Just stay with me for exactly a moment, Ina, because I need your help with something, my friend. President Zelenskyy has just put out a video in Ukrainian. I want you to listen to it with me and help us just translate it for us so all of us here in India can understand what the president is saying. Let's just play out for our viewers and for Ina what the president has just said.
Ми все це будемо захищати. Ось і все. Ось це і є те, що я хотів вам сказати. Слава Україні! Всім доброго ранку, українці. Зараз в мережі дуже багато з'явилось фейкової інформації, що, немов я закликаю складати зброю нашу армію і йде евакуація. Значить так, я тут, ніяку зброю ми не складемо, будемо захищати нашу державу, тому що наша зброя – це наша правда. Наша правда в тому, що це наша земля, наша країна, наші діти, і ми все це будемо захищати. Ось і все. Ось це і є те, що я хотів вам сказати. Слава Україні!
Ina, what did the president say? I wish we understood the language, but what can you translate for us what he said?
On the first piece, he was saying that we shall be protecting ourselves, and that's all. That's basically all we have to do right now. And then there was a video, and I'm not seeing the picture right now, but I've seen the video before. It's important to know that he is standing in the center of the city, and he is recording it like right now, and he is saying that I took the notes. Good morning, everyone. I know that there is lots of misinformation in the media, claiming that I suggest that we give up, that we put down our weapons. That is not true. Do not follow this misinformation. I am here. We're not giving up our weapons. Our weapons is our truth. We shall be protecting our country. We shall be protecting our children, because there is no one else who will protect this. This was the message from the president.
And is this message going out to all Ukrainians? Is that the sentiment that Ukrainians are accepting right now, that they have to stand together? You know, it's very interesting. You know, I come from a country where our political parties are constantly at war. I mean, that's what opposition parties are meant to do. You're an opposition, member of parliament. You criticize the government, you criticize President Zelenskyy, but now all of you are standing completely together.
Exactly. I never thought that could happen, but
Yeah.
it is actually true. And we were actually discussing this with people I'm staying over here with, that we don't necessarily like Zelenskyy. We have criticized him so much for the last almost 3 years. But right now, he is doing a good job. He is staying here in Kyiv, which is so much appreciated, trust me. And we are staying united. We are not protecting a single political party. We are protecting our land and we are protecting our freedom. So we don't have any way to surrender. And I could see even the MPs from all political parties standing in line to obtain weapons.
Yeah.
We were all just chatting like, okay, how we're going to coordinate, how we're going to help each other, who's going to do what, who's going to go in where. It was like, it made no difference which party we were from. We were all there and trying to figure out what we can do to protect Ukraine.
Just two more questions, Ina, and I know you've got things to do as well on the ground. Just two more questions, please bear with me. One, President Zelenskyy has told the United States, I need ammunition, I don't want a ride, because he's basically got a message from the US saying, you must get out of Kyiv, you must get out of Ukraine, you must evacuate the city. But through this video, President Zelenskyy said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be in the center of the city and I'm going to be here with my people. What did you think of that? He told the Americans, I don't need a ride, I need ammunition.
That is actually fantastic. Well, trust me, I'm the last person who would have said so. I didn't believe that he would be actually such a leader in this time, but he's doing this. He's basically saying, like, we don't want your words of solidarity. We want ammunition.
Yeah.
If there is anything else you can do, like, just don't say you pray for us. And that is on my side. I'm not quoting Zelenskyy here. I'm just expressing the feelings of many Ukrainians. Don't say you pray for us. I mean, if you are just a regular citizen, yes, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. But if you are a world leader, don't say you are praying for us. Just give us ammunition, give us a weapon, do provide the strongest sanctions possible against Russia. And that is when we feel your solidarity. We don't want to hear words. We do want ammunition for our guys on the ground to fight.
My final question to you, Ina, before I let you go for the moment is, you're a member of parliament, you're a citizen of Ukraine, your boyfriend is in the Ukrainian military, your father has decided to pick up a weapon and join the territorial defense forces. Do you imagine, Ina, and this is my final question to you, that you might have to pick up a weapon? And are you prepared to do that as well?
I have one standing just over here. So yes, if I have to, I will do that. I'm not surrendering. I'm not leaving the country. I was getting messages from my friends from all over the world, like, we shall host you, come over to Canada, to the United States. But I'm not leaving. And let Putin know that we are not leaving. None of us are.